So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're all welcome to DGIF Interactive Forum, Volume 4, and it's proudly hosted by the Century Vibe Global International Foundation, where we are redefining our world. Today's conversation is on a theme that touches everyone's heart. It touches every one of us: nation building and the future of education in Nigeria. So, as we all know, education is not just about classroom, it is about shaping minds, building character, and creating leaders who will drive our nation forward. We are truly honored to have you here because your presence means a lot to us and we care about our future Nigeria. This is more than just a forum, it is a movement of minds coming together to inspire change. So, I'm your host for this evening. Oluwafunke Olayemi, and I'll be doing a little tips on housekeeping so that we can all enjoy our time, little time together here. So, I want to encourage every participant to introduce themselves briefly in the chat and your name, your location, what you're associated with. One word you will be associated with when it comes to education, and please feel free to share your thoughts, reflections, and questions in the chat as we go along. We want this to be much more interactive as possible. So, today we have two inspiring leaders joining us for this dialogue. Ms. Rukayat Musa, a visionary whose dedication reflects the passion of young leaders who believe in transformational education, and a girl child advocate. We also have Mr. Chidiebube Azubike Osama, a dynamic leader and advocate, passionate about leadership, nation building, and educational reform. So, together, they will be helping us to uncover insights into how education can truly shape nation building. So, before we dive into the discussion, let's quickly check the pulse of the room. Um, you can also, like I said, you can drop in the chat box what do you think is the biggest challenge in Nigerian education system today. And I will now invite our speaker, which I'll be inviting um, Mr. Ebube. Are you ready for us? So please go ahead and enlighten us about what you think is your own perspective in terms of nation building. And yeah, we can't wait to hear from you. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much.
Want to greet everyone. Good evening. How's your day going? I hope everything is going well. All right. My name is Osamo Chidibube, and the topic before us is about nation building and the future of education in Nigeria. Nation building and the future of education in Nigeria. All right. So I won't take much time because I'm a teacher by profession. So if it's one thing we have learned over the years teaching is that the more concise and brief your teaching is, the more your students get your points. So the more you waste time, the less they will grab. All right. So I will itemize my points and make it as brief as possible. All right. So let's first talk about nation building. Nation building. Now there are different ways and different segments where people as a nation can put hands together to build their nation. But today, we'll be focusing more on the education part of it, how education can help a nation building, right? So how the role that education plays in nation building. So nation building through education involves creating responsible, informed citizens who can contribute to societal, economic, and political progress by fostering national identity, promoting social cohesion, developing critical thinking, very important, and technical skills, and empowering all segments of the population. So, education enables the development of meritocracy, a strong middle class, and skilled human resources necessary for effective governance and national development. So, the need for education cannot be overemphasized, especially if you want to build a society that is that is progressive, that has a strong identity, that has a strong identity. For example, look at the likes of our Asian countries like China and Japan. They have a strong identity of industrialization, and that came about through education. The percentage of the uneducated in places like Japan and China is very low. In fact, lower than that of United States of America, if my statistics is correct. So education cannot be overemphasized. It has a very major role to play when it comes to nation building. Now, what are the areas that education can help in building the nation? And what are the advantages? What are the pros? What are the benefits we get from it? Firstly, we'll talk about fostering national unity and identity. Education brings about fostering national unity and identity. Now, how does education foster unity? How does it promote unity? The first point is that it does that by promoting social cohesion. Promoting social cohesion. Education can integrate diverse cultural, ethnic, and religious groups by fostering shared values and a sense of belonging, thereby reducing social divisions and conflict. For example, myself right now, I attended during my secondary school days, I attended a federal government college, which we call unity schools. When you're unity schools in Nigeria, it's basically federal government college. So I was privileged to attend one. And when I was in the public school for 6 years from JS1 to SS3, all right, I lived and stayed with different people from different parts of the country, different religions, different tribes, different upbringing. All right, and I'm grateful that I could attend such a school because it now made me to understand people more, understand tribes, understand culture, understand religion. So that is one of the things that education does. It fosters national unity. And when there's no unity in the nation, the nation cannot stand. The nation cannot stand when the nation is not united. One of the things that brought Germany down during the World War was because of at the time there was now this division among them, the Nazis. So that division now made Germany begin to break down, even when they were doing very well on the war front. So unity is brought about through education because in schools people meet other people of other languages, other tribes. So from there you learn growing from that tender age as a teenager, you learn unity through education. So education promotes social cohesion. The second point, still talking about education fostering unity, is cultivating national consciousness. Cultivating national consciousness. So what does this mean? It's talking about how education helps to instill a unified national identity. That's why in schools you see that we sing national anthem every morning. All right. So whether you are Igala, whether you are Chief, whether you are Igbo, whether you are Yoruba, Hausa, we all sing that one national anthem together to remind us of our national identity. So that's one of the gains of education when it comes to fostering national unity. Now, the other point I also talk about how education helps to bring about national nation building is developing human capital and economic growth. So just to recap, the first one was talking about unity, fostering unity in the nation. Now, the second point I'm talking about developing human capital and economic growth. So through education, number one, the first point on this one is that education creates competent workforce. Creating competent workforce. Education produces skilled professionals, managers, and innovators needed to drive the economy and manage national institutions effectively. To be honest with all of us, to be candid with all of us, one of our major problems in Nigeria is that we have self-claimed educated people who are not well trained. I've been to some government offices where the so-called people cannot even write correctly, and yet they are in sensitive positions in the government. So when the education is sound, good education, it creates competent workforce. It creates competent workforce, skilled professionals, people that are good managers, innovators. So that's one of the part is also promoting meritocracy. Promoting meritocracy. What does this mean? An educated society allows for the implementation of a merit-based system, ensuring that critical positions in public and private sectors are filled by competent individuals. What does it mean by promoting meritocracy? From the word merit, meritocracy. All right. So when you have a society that is educated, there will not be any bias in selecting the right people to fill certain offices or certain positions. And what we are practicing in this nation is of this aspect. Because so many people are in certain places where they are not either they have no knowledge about it or little knowledge. And from my own little finding, yes, I know that corruption is affecting our nation greatly. But in my own view, I feel that what is affecting Nigeria the most is not even corruption, but incompetency. Incompetency. You have many people that are incompetent, sitting on certain chairs they're not meant to sit on. We have many people that are so incompetent and they are sitting in positions and they are confused. They don't even know what to do. They are just there just for the financial gains or the pleasures that come in the office, but they don't know. They don't have the critical know-how on how to handle such positions. So when the masses of a particular nation are highly educated, it brings about promoting meritocracy. That is the merit-based system, implementing merit-based system. Still talking about how education develops economic growth and human capital is that it helps to in the area of economic growth and innovation, right? So it's still a branch of what I've said earlier. When the masses are educated, it brings about innovation. Innovation. Many of the technologies we are seeing today, even in Nigeria, of these gadgets and stuff like that, they are a result of innovations from young minds in Asia, the likes of Taiwan, the rest. All right, you see teenagers because of the sound education they've had in science and technology. You see them producing innovative products. Yeah, India right now, their youths are one of the top leaders when it comes to innovation. Some of these name coins that are being that people are rushing to try and buy and get, they are developed by these Asian youths, Indians, Japanese, Chinese, from the very beginning, which are really innovation in that country. So that's one of the benefits of education in nation building. Right now, I've talked about unity. I've talked about economic growth. Another area I'll talk about is strengthening democratic values and governance. So education has a role in doing that also. And how can education play a role in this? First is encouraging civic engagement. Education empowers citizens with the knowledge to participate actively and responsibly in democratic processes, such as voting. We can look at if we compare last election with previous elections, like maybe in the 90s and 80s, you can see that the percentage, or yes, there's a drastic reduction in the percentage of vote buying. One, not because the masses are necessarily richer than the way they were before, but because now we have more educated people. We have more educated people that know the truth now. Thank God for the internet. Even through the internet, we are gaining education. We're now beginning to see that some of these people are just wolves in sheep clothing. All right. So education now is not it empowers the citizens to participate responsibly. Mark the word responsibly, because uneducated people are the ones that are participating irresponsibly in democratic processes. But once you are educated, there is there's a way your behavior, your character is being molded that you are responsible in carrying out your democratic processes like voting and all that. So education strengthens civic engagement. Another point under that is promoting critical thinking and values. So education instills values like discipline, honesty, resilience, and a respect for the rule of law, fostering a more responsible and upright citizenry. All right. So that is that. on that point. So I have talked about unity, I've talked about economic growth, talked about strengthening democratic values and governance. So another point I will bring out where education plays a major role in nation building is empowering individuals and reducing inequality. Empowering individuals and reducing inequality. All right. So the first point under this socio-economic mobility. Socio-economic mobility. Quality education provides opportunities for upward mobility, lifting disadvantaged groups out of poverty and reducing social and economic inequality. So that one is a common thing everyone knows, and that education empowers individuals and it reduces that gap between the rich and the poor. You understand what I'm saying? So it reduces social and economic inequality. It tries to put everyone on a common ground. All right. Then the second point is gender empowerment. Talking about education now, in nation building when it comes to empowering individuals and reducing inequality. So the first point is socio-economic mobility. The second point here is gender empowerment. Education can challenge patriarchal norms and empower women to participate fully in all spheres of society, contributing to a more equitable nation. I remember some years back when I think it was we had the Minister of Finance. I think it's finance. Yes, that was a woman. Then we also at the time the second in command at United Nations. So let's say a woman from northern Nigeria. Najee Muhammad. That is Deputy Secretary General of United Nations. Yes. So I was discussing with some people. I said, you see, for so long in the northern part of the country, the girl child has been deprived of education. I schooled in my secondary school, Federal Government College, it was in the north. And in my class, I think we were close to 60. Girls were only like 10 or 11 out of 60 students in the class. And the 10 or 11, they are mostly even maybe Christians that came from other states, some from Abuja, some from. So from that young age, I was always wondering, why are girls being denied education? Because from even as a teacher, I have seen that, in fact, most of the time, if I should take a rough statistics or rough average of the most intelligent students that I've ever taught, most of them are girls. So this is one of the rules education play to nation building and to bring about gender empowerment. Gender empowerment. All right. So education, it challenges that patriarchal norms we are used to in Nigeria. And if you have, to me personally, I believe if you have a balance.
Mr. Abube, you have 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I know we're enjoying your talk. 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm almost done already. So if you have a balanced population of both educated men and women, boys and girls, it brings about nation building. It brings about nation building. So um, in the last, just the few minutes left, I was talking about the future of education in Nigeria. Well, the future of education in Nigeria, I would say, is still bright because now there are many things. Thank God I'm in the education sector, so there are some things that the Ministry of Education is bringing out, to bring about better graduates. And like very soon now, we're talking about CBT for both WAEC and NECO. It's a serious debate we are having now because I feel that most schools are not ready for that. Just the way JAM has been doing it for years. So we have been having meetings with WAEC and NECO, filling out questionnaires. The Minister of Education is taking it seriously. He wants to make WAEC and NECO computer-based exams. All right. So there are many initiatives the government is bringing, to boost the educational sector. The first point is on digital transformation. Nigeria is rapidly adopting digital tools. All right. Also, Nigeria is our educational sector now. We're now focusing on skills curriculum, how children can get skills. So as they're learning academics, also getting skills at the same time. All right. And I think even from what I've noticed, AI into education. Trying to integrate AI for better learning experience and to redefine teaching and learning methods. And the Nigerian government is also trying to focus on teacher development. So you will find that in some schools now, educators, which as teachers, are being trained to master certain things like use of digital tools in the teaching. So there's this training being done on teachers now to adopt this mode of teaching. All right, but the challenges we still have, which is my final part of this my own lecture, the challenges we still have when it comes to education in Nigeria is digital divide, which I believe is saying there's a huge digital divide in Nigeria. To rural areas, there's little or no internet network there. All right, so there's a huge gap between a child schooling in Abuja with one schooling in UB. With a huge digital divide between a child schooling in Lagos or Port Harcourt with a child schooling in, let us say, um, which some of these northern states that are still trying to integrate the basics of education. So digital divide is a challenge. I hope as a nation we can fix that. Insecurity is also a challenge, in improving our future when it comes to education. Corruption is also another challenge, and outdated systems. There are some systems still in place that are outdated. I feel we should not, that there are old methods of teaching, and old methods of carrying out education. So I feel that this system should also be changed. All right. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you have gotten some vital points I've made here. Thank you very much.
Wow, wow, thank you so much, Mr. Ebube. This has been a real full pack discussion from your end. And in fact, you have really talked a lot in terms of fostering unity, digital transformation, creating competent workplace, promoting meritocracy, economic growth and innovation, economic strength, social vitalities, and gender empowerment. In fact, you have really talked a lot, and we're going to give room for the second speaker so that at the end of the day, we can now take all the questions that comes afterwards. And even from my hand, if I have a question from the chat box, I will share with you. So, but we're going to give our second speaker the time slot to also hear from her hand. And I know she has a lot for us in terms of aspect of gender equality, gender preferences, and all of that. I know she's going to discuss a lot on that. Thank you so much, Mr. Ebube. Over to you, Ms. Rukayat.
The future of education in Nigeria, the gender perspective. So I actually like the way Mr. Ibube ended his talk because he kind of gave me room to just continue from where he stopped. So it's not going to be like me going back to discuss anymore again all the things they have said because it's also a reflection of what I'm going to say. Well, I'm just going to make this kind of interactive for us to look at it from a different point of view and for us to also share our opinion because there's nothing I want to say that Mr. Ibube has not said, but I'm going to go directly on the gender perspective. To build a nation, like me, there's something I actually used to define. I used to tell people that if you want to see, if you want to measure the society, the progress of a society, just look at the women. Look at them. When I mean look at the women, I mean you should look at how educated they are, how organized they are, how industrial they are. That is how you know how built and how well a nation is. That's how you measure a nation. So, and this topic is saying nation building and the future of education in Nigeria. We all know that fundamentally, education is the bedrock of every functional society. Any society that you see functioning well, so it is constitute education. It can be informal or formal education because when we hear education, everybody limits it to the classroom. But we thank God now that we all know that education is not just learning schoolwork; it's also learning of values learning of values, skills, and academic work also. So it's not only limited to skills. So now I would just go directly to the current realities in Nigeria in terms of educational system, especially in terms of gender equality and inequality. Compared to before, that is, if we go back to memory lane, that is olden days, we know that women don't go to school. Like in northern, if you want to measure it according to the state, according to the how do I even say it, regions in Nigeria, we have the west, north, south, east, like that. We know that in the west, people go to school more. Like education is kind of a kind of it's not education and all that is quite paramount in the western part of Nigeria. That is the Yoruba people. Then we should go to the second one, which is the eastern part. We know that education is also something there. We go to north part also, but thanks be to God, the northern part they are really trying very well, and their girls are now going to school. But it is not total a win-win something because we still have issues of girls not going to school. Parents telling themselves that and telling the society and telling it to the society that there's no need for a woman to go to school because her education ends in the kitchen. which is quite wrong. Women's education don't end in kitchen. If it ends in kitchen, all the development we have gotten in Nigeria, if you go and measure them, you see that it's courtesy to some women. Is it Okonjo-Iweala I want to mention? Is it Aminaje Mohammed? Is it late Dora, this NAFDAC woman? Is it the ministers? Is it Natasha? Is it all these women that have really done something for the nation? Or the present, how do I even say, the president, is it president of World Bank? So we have a lot of women that we want to keep mentioning. See that they are really, really contributed to this nation called Nigeria, not even Nigeria, all over the world. So now, going back to my talk about looking at how education is, you see that if we look now in Nigeria, now we can't say totally that it has been achieved that women are going to school, because according to UNICEF, 10 million girls are still not are still illiterate, like they are not in school. Some drop out, some due to parent their societal belief, some through some maybe the fact that they got a teenage pregnancy, some lack of motivation. So there are a lot of factors that girls are not going to school, which is actually affecting our country as a nation. Because I believe there's a strong belief I have that if women are given chance to be educated, if it is equal as that of the boys, Nigeria would have gone farther than this. The way we are struggling now, it should not be like that. And we are aware of what is happening in the nation. Like in Nigeria, now if you look at the leadership positions in Nigeria, you see that let's look at the Senate, for instance. All attention has been drawn to the Senate. You see that, let's say in the Senate, 100% is like 99 for the men and 1 for the women, which is women are not involved in decision making in the country, now, which is affecting inequality in education in Nigeria, because women are not given opportunity to make decisions like that of men. Men make decisions for even the health sector, things that has to do with our body and our health. A man cannot understand a woman, understand a woman. A man cannot understand a woman but than a woman. I don't know how our patriarchal society and some aspect of misogynistic clause that is affecting us, which I would just have to state, because these are the things affecting us. You know what? It's not even how do I say psychological okay for the nation to think that a man will be able to understand a woman's body. Is it how do I even call it? Is it biologically and all that? So we need women in that position. So if we have women in the positions that women are supposed to be in, then I think there will be progress in our nation. Then we cannot be saying that okay, the education that women have gotten is really helping them. But when we get this, but when we are in a society that keep discouraging women from going to school by telling them the education ends in kitchen, by okay, when they finish school, the opportunity for them to get job is not even that there, and when they even get the job, they'll face different kind of things in their workplaces. They'll face harassment. If it is not sexual harassment, it will be how do I even intimidation. It will be insecurity. It's either the boss is there are a lot of things that we can't about aspects of the future of education in Nigeria. So, and I was saying I'm just going to speak about it from the gender aspect. So, I want to just briefly ask us some questions, especially the women here. I would want everyone from our director, Miss Oluwafunke Olayemi. I can see, I don't know if it is Miss or Mrs. Selina and Gloria. So I think you can all hear me. So I want you to tell us, just maybe in 60 seconds, okay, that is 1 minute, to tell us how education has benefited you as an individual and has made you who you are today as a woman. So please, our director, you start first, then I think Mrs. Selina will go next, and Miss Selina, I don't know, Miss Gloria will be the third person to speak. So, director, please, you can just tell us how education has helped you as an individual, as a woman. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that wonderful question. And I like the fact that you interlude into questions, asking the participants and the attendants about your view on education in terms of gender perspective. So, for me, I can't agree more from what you have stated, and it has been a very inspiring journey for me, and I'm not regretting it actually, because education is a bedrock, like you said. Without education, it's always difficult to navigate life. I will not lie to you, because it's a stepping stone to other growth and development in one's life. So either we like it or not, education is very, very important. It's a key factor for our growth and development, and also it also plays a very critical role in terms of leadership. So as we advocates and our like aspiring leaders in the Central Global International Foundation, it's always good we make ourselves readily available for for growth, building capacity at every point in our lives. This interactive forum is also to help us as future leaders to be able to like know what we want and what we also want as change, in our society. So I will pass on the question to Selena. Selena can add up so we can quickly round up the session. Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Rike.
Selena, I would love to hear from you.
Yeah, good evening, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity, ma'am. And honestly, I'm really enjoying the topic very well. So education, like you have said, and our leader have also said, education is really, really, really a very vital key into everyone's life. So me as a woman, how education have really helped me. When a woman is educated, the way she relates in the society, the way she talks, her behaviors, everything about her is exceptional. Is completely different from a woman that is not educated. So also running home, the financial aspect of supporting the family, also the emotionally and the mental wise of it. So when a woman is educated, honestly, is a different thing as a whole. Because when you enter into a society, even in the city, when you like a group, there was a group that I was handling. I was the one that created the group. Honestly speaking, the group came to dissolve. One of them was not educated. Immediately she was. The whole thing could no longer continue due to her level of understanding and comprehending things. It wasn't really easy. Before you could know it, she's not trying to picture, she's not trying to see the view, nor the point, the aim, and the focus of the whole thing. So it's really, really dangerous, honestly, if a woman is not educated to some point. So I pray that the way things are going, we are fighting, talking, educating, I pray that everything will be okay. Finally, thank you so much, ma. Thank you, ma.
Amen. So, Miss Gloria,
For me, for my education, for my own education aspect, it really helped me when like my mother, she's the type of person that she's a teacher. When we are leaving, hello,
we can hear you.
okay, like my mother, she's a teacher. When we are little, she always make us to read. Even when we come back from school, she will have to give us assignment. I know, she's not from the north, and my mom, she's Yoruba, and she's a woman that always like reading. Like for me, she don't know anything. She don't know how to read. You don't know how to do anything. My mother will always stand, and you must know how to do that. So from the beginning, as a child, we always when we start to do our lesson, everything, and we think that maybe why our mother treating us like this, like me especially, I'll say, God, me, I'm tired. What I want. I think that maybe the education is not more important for me. But when I was growing up, going to the next level, gradually, but that time I was saying that yes, education is good because like me from the north here, some of when some of the northerners like Hausa, everything, no, they don't believe in education. Some of the Hausa, the way Madam Rukayat said, they believe that okay, man, this man no need of working, and because me, I'm the husband, I'm the one working, I'll provide everything for you. This is what they believe before. But now, how is society, everything on out now? Everybody will say, okay, or anything. Hello? You understand?
We can hear you.
So
Yes.
from there, you will see like we now, that you see a woman now, she became something, a doctor, a lecturer, a teacher, especially because everyone is making decision to go back to school to read. As for me, from my own aspect, my education level to this stage, I'm trying to learn all every day. I'm trying to learn because if I don't know anything, if I don't understand something, I have to ask somebody that knows it. So because I will learn from that person. I'm not feeling ashamed maybe because I don't know this thing. I cannot ask from you. I can ask so that I can know more about it. As I'm at educational level, I know a lot of things and I'm learning more and more and more. And that is why, by the grace of God today, God has taken me to a stage that I can help others, people can learn from me and I can learn from them. That is all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'll be so brief with my talk now because
You have 2 minutes.
time.
2 minutes. 2 minutes, please. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, just like I said, there's nothing I want to say that Mr. Ibuka has not said, and there's nothing that we all don't know, only that is good to discuss and it's good to learn from other people. To conclude my talk, I would like to say, just like education has helped every nation in the world to understand the evil in colonialism, that is the same way education has also helped women to understand their basic human rights. I don't even want to go deep because I'm still on a journey of learning, relearning, and unlearning some things that I grew up to understand that is the position of women Meanwhile, education has really helped me understand my even let me just say my basic rights as a woman, which I'm grateful to the Central Bank Global International for giving me a lot of opportunity to understand this and to go further, which I am really advocating for the girl child and women to understand all these things, especially these SDGs, getting to know them, getting to learn them. I have really get to understand a lot, and I thank our director, Mr. Oluwafunke Olayemi. I used to say this always, even to God, anywhere I am in my mind, in everywhere, that meeting her was actually a very good opportunity for me. All the links she used to send, I don't know if people used to follow the link, but me, I used to follow those links, listen to the lecture, get to workshop and learn a lot. And going that I've discovered that honestly, if you begin to learn and you expose yourself to knowledge as a woman, you really gain a lot by understanding your basic right, not even going deeper. I pray that as Nigeria is, the bill that has been passed in the I don't know where, is it the Senate or something, that sorry, the one that women are working on in terms of leadership, to sustain more opportunities for women in terms of leadership, that recent reform that is going on now. I think it has gotten to the House of Rep in Abuja, but I don't know how far it is now. So I pray it becomes possible and established, so that it's that kind of opportunity can help we all women. So my advice to women and everybody out there, because even the men, you are going to give birth to daughters, you have wives, you have sisters. So if you only understand this when you have women that are close to you, lamenting and explaining that seriously, the nation, the world is not really fair to women, especially women that are poor and uneducated. So I would like to end my talk by thanking the director for this opportunity, and also thanking you all for paying attention and for your contribution. God bless you all. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Madam Ruki. Thank you so much for speaking so broadly in terms of nation building and the future of Nigerian leadership in education. I am really inspired by all your contribution. Thank you, Mr. Ibube. So, without further ado, I'm going to just give us a room, the floor to interact. So, the participants, I'm going to be throwing this question to you. If you want to talk, just signify, then we can mute our mic, then give our little contribution to this critical question I'm going to throw into the chat now. It says, how can young people contribute to nation building through education? We are all in this country. We are all seeing everything that is going on. Although we are positive, that is why we are in a collective room where we are seeking for change. And change will not happen until we talk about it, until we do the necessary actions, towards that aspect. So how can young people contribute to nation building through education? And with this question, we are going to be able to like interact together, then round up the session for this evening. So over to you all. I'm seeing Abubakar, I'm seeing Mr. Bitrus Joseph, I'm seeing Mr. Joe Yakubu, and I don't know. Please let's contribute briefly so we can round up. Thank you so much. Over. You can give us your brief contribution towards that. Thank you.
All right. The brief contribution I have was that how can young people contribute to education? The biggest contribution I think this can give is in the area of NYSC, National Youth Service Corps. Why am I saying this? Some years back, the NYSC made a reform that most corpers should be posted to schools to teach during their service year. And they had a very solid reason for that, because they knew that times are changing. These young graduates, we have more newer methods of teaching. They have more recent knowledge about their fields than the old teachers that are in those schools. But unfortunately, most of these youths now began to, they feel it's like an insult to go to the class. So you see many of them trying to use long legs to walk their way to offices and then to walk their way to bigger organizations. So, in summary, I feel you should embrace this assignment just for a year. As a copper, if you are being posted to a school to go and teach, accept it and do for that 1 year. See it as your own national service, your national good. Thank you.
Wow, awesome. I can agree more. It's a very good contribution from that aspect. Yeah, I can say a lot of NYC Youth Corp members that they don't really like to be in the classroom. So it's a good thing that we embrace change. Change starts with us. So as youth corpers, it's very good you go into the classroom to at least gain that knowledge. At least there was a teacher that also taught you to become who you are today. So we need to encourage everyone around, especially the youth, to ensure that they embrace change, impacting the educational aspect and sector of our country, Nigeria. So who else have Mr. Joe? Mr. Joe, do you have a contribution? Mr. Joe.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, Mr. Joseph. All right, go ahead, please.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead. Thank you.
Sorry for coming late online. I was really busy. Based on the question you threw to the house, you said, how can young people contribute to nation building through education? If that's right. First of all, education is one of the most powerful tools, that young people can use to transform their lives and also contribute to nation building. Now, if you want to acquire this knowledge, skills, or values, there are certain rules that has to be followed. For instance, one, personal development and skill acquisition. Most of our young people now do not take their studies seriously. They only develop on necessary things, whereas they need to have that critical thinking. They need to be creativity. They need to be creative, have that spirit of creativity. You know, they need to be problem solving and having that mindset. Skills that will enable them to contribute to innovations in terms of science, in terms of technology, in terms of agri, in terms of health, and other sectors that drive international development. Another factors to consider is promoting literacy and peer education. Young people can volunteer to teach others, just like my other colleague have said, according to what he has said based on NYC. They can volunteer to teach young people, mentor the younger students, and engage them in community literacy programs. Another point, I think civil awareness. There should be awareness, advocacy, whereby education will now equip these young people with the knowledge of their rights and responsibilities. Through this, they can participate in democratic processes, advocate for good governance, and also fight against corruption, tribalism, and injustice. In a summary, young people contribute to nation building through education by acquiring knowledge, spreading literacy, promoting good values, driving innovation, and participating actively in national development. This energy, creativity, and vision of youth, guided by education, will actually make key drivers of any country's future. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. Joseph. Mr. Jonathan, do you have anything to say briefly before we wrap up? Mr. Abubakar, do you have anything to say? Okay, Mr. Jonathan. Yeah, good evening. Go ahead, please.
Right. Yeah, most of my punchline has already been said, but nonetheless, I'll just young people in Nigeria, we have a lot and we have a long way to go. But we can start from Jerusalem, which is from our local level. We can start from community engagement. So find out we are living in the community. Definitely, we know what is affecting the community. We know what is wrong with the community. If we don't have the power to solve that, if we don't have the finances to solve that, one of the advice is to meet the community leaders. Then they'll be able to mobilize funds for you to be able to to achieve in that your own little way. Because it's 1+1 that make up to. Free lesson can be organized, like free tutorial and all of those, by educating the girl's child and the less privileged in the society. And the young people can also come together to form a political party. We have the bill of not too young to run bill that has been passed already. So there's what we call political education. You can educate people, by first of all having your voters card, educating people not to engage themselves in corruption or snatching of ballot boxes. So the education cuts across so many things. So I think in line with this and with what other people have said, I would just like to to rest my case. God bless everyone and God bless the presenter. I really learned a lot. Thank you, man.
Thank you, Mr. Jonathan. I really love that contribution too. Mr. I'm going to just summarize what we have learned today. I've really, really learned a lot actually, and it's actually a very interactive discussion we had today. Thank you, Mr. Bube. Thank you, Madam Rukayat. We're really inspired, and if we give it 2 hours, we cannot exhaust talking about how to reform our educational system. Mr. Bube said a lot in terms of fostering unity, digital transformation. He also emphasized on the educational challenges that we are facing right now. The future of Nigeria is still very bright. Like we know, basically, we are seeing a lot of discussion around digital transformation because either we like it or not, the tech is here. So the tech is here to stay, and we need to start encouraging people on how to understand how to use AI in transformative ways. So educational is a key factor to our society, which we cannot overemphasize. So we also looked at in terms of how young people can contribute, which we've shed a lot of light on that aspect, and also not forgetting Madam Ruki, where she emphasized on gender perspective of nation building. It's quite challenging where we see that it's not yet a balance in terms of helping our girl child, in education. They marry them so young. Although we know some of them that are already knowing their rights in terms of they want to go to school, they love to go to school, They are seeing their gender going to school. They see their peers going to school. They are also interested in all of that. So, and it's also good that we train them in technological knowledge so that they can be able to like, assess the system, assess the new innovations that are coming up. So we can't give up on this country. We still have a bright future, but only if we speak about it, only if we advocate for it, only if we know our rights towards all that. So I want to encourage us to continue to drive change as we are known for in the Century Bible International Foundation. We'll continue to speak up, we'll continue to find a way to integrate, we'll continue to find a way to get a common ground in terms of political and policy decision making on the table, engaging youth participation positively. So that is what we are, and that's who we are. So we are going places, and we believe that things are going to work for good in this organization. So I want to thank you all for giving us this time to join our meeting, our interactive forum meeting for today. We are so happy, we are so glad for our distinguished speakers, Rukayat Musa and Mr. Gabriel Samuel, for the wisdom and passion they have shared with us. And to our wonderful participants, thank you for your engagement, your comments, your presence. Please keep remembering that nation building is not a one-day effort. Yes, it's not a one day. We can see that we have a lot to do in the country, in the society. So we need everybody needs each other at this time. Education is the foundation, and each of us has a role to play. So, on behalf of the Century Bible International Foundation, thank you for joining this call this evening. Thank you. Please stay connected to our future forums, which is going to be next month, and we continue to redefine our workplaces. And we believe that things are going to work for good in this organization. So I want to thank you all for giving us this time to join our meeting, our interactive forum meeting for today. We are so happy. We are so glad for our distinguished speakers, Rukayat Musa and Mr. Gabriel Samuel, for the wisdom and passion they have shared with us. And to our wonderful participants, thank you for your engagement, your comments, your presence. Please keep remembering that nation building is not a one-day effort. Yes, it's not a one day. We can see that we have a lot to do in the country, in the society. So we need everybody needs each other at this time. Education is the foundation, and each of us has a role to play. So, on behalf of the Century Bible International Foundation, thank you for joining this call this evening. Thank you. Please stay connected to our future forums, which is going to be next month, and we'll continue to redefine our world through meaningful conversation. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye.